Hey guys, I started writing this new short story, and you probably don't know this, but although I do make a lot of videos, and yeah, I do make a lot, when I'm not making videos, I like writing, and I write a lot more than I make videos, but usually it's either a long story or a super short story, or I write it halfway through, then trash it. But I've been trying to come up with an interesting story where the Joker and Harley Quinn, that's weird, I never messed her name up like that before, have a girl. Don't judge me. Intense look. And intense look is over. Back to Pep. Harley Pep. So, I just thought it'd be interesting, because this was an old idea I had way back, right after I finished watching gameplay for Arkham City. And so, I just decided to go back and write it. I had this inspiration after listening to the World's Finest Podcast. They were reviewing the Be a Clown episode of Batman TAS. And then I remembered, I'm like, oh yeah, that whole idea, like the one they did in Batman Beyond, where the Joker has a kid. Sorry, I'm holding this with one hand so I can look like Dee Dee. Only more flexible. That's pretty weird sitting position, but I always sit like this. Yeah, I'm weird. So basically the story is that, it starts out with this girl in an orphanage, and she's talking to her friend, and she's like, oh, I'm going to a new home, and I'm going to be in Iowa, or something like that. And, rather quickly, Bruce Wayne's walking past the orphanage. Why? Who knows? He's Bruce Wayne / Batman. Maybe he likes the idea they never went to one. I don't know. He just had to. So he's passing by it. And yeah, it's like, oh, the girl's singing up front. He's like, oh, why are you so sad? They're talking a little bit. Little smart alecky responses. And he's like, hey, you don't know who your parents are. I'll take you to get this blood test because it's expensive or something. So he does, and the doctor won't tell them he says the results came back, but he won't tell who her parents are. He says, oh, I have to give this to GCPD. So the girl's kind of bummed. Well, Batman sneaks in that night and steals the file, looks at it, and just freaks out. He's like, no way, And, I never flat out say it, like that she's their kid, but it's implied so much you'd have to be completely clueless not to figure it out. So, she basically, the way you find out is, like, Batman didn't even say it, but if you knew that she was their kid, you'd get what he meant, it'd be like, the results only came back for your mom, like your dad, but I think I know who it is, that kind of thing. And my favorite part of that is, like, she's talking with Batman, and Batman, she keeps asking him, like, who are my parents, and he won't tell her, and then she just sort of snaps at him and just tells him off, and it's hilarious. And then, of course, right after that, Joker and Harley crash it, because they're tracking Batman, and they're like, oh, now we can take out an orphanage and Batman, bleh, Joker. I sound like a weirdo, just now. But, so then Joker, Harley figures it out first, because I think it was, Batman's like, I don't think you want to do that, like aiming the gun at her. And then Harley figures out her name, and her name's Chance. I like that name, Chance. It's a great pokerish name. And basically, Joker figures it out, and they kidnap her, and then they take her back to their lair, and she wakes up, and she overhears their conversation, and that's how she pieces things together. And it's basically Joker yelling at Harley, like, why didn't you tell me this, or when did this happen? She's like, oh, it's right after I met you, I didn't want to rush things. He's like, when? And I'll spare you details, because I don't want to spoil everything, but I've gotten to the point where you find out she isn't a weakling or anything. She can actually fight, you know. She says, because she's been to like 25 foster homes, so you're gonna pick up a few things. Like when she says that when she was 6, she learned how to use a gun, and when she was 10, she learned martial arts. You know, and then the Joker starts liking her. He's like, you know, like this kid has potential. I'm doing my smart nerdy face, but I look like a member of the undead because my lips are really red because my face is very pale and I've got red cheeks. Basically, I look like Harley Quinn with a sunburn. I'm serious, I'm not wearing any makeup right now. No lipstick, no nothing. So, I'm gonna finish this story eventually. It'll probably take me a while. But I mean, if you guys would like to see this, like, see the story or something, just leave me a comment below. Down there. No, I'm not pointing down to the bad place. No, I'm not pointing down south. I am pointing to the comments. And I'm doing it in slow motion because I'm awesome. But seriously, let me know if you want to read it, and I'll figure something out. What I would really like to do is, since I'm horrible at reading things out loud, I'm great silent, horrible out loud. So what I would love to do is find someone who can read really well, like out loud, you know, like, oh, I don't know, I'm not expecting Kevin Conroy or Arlene Sorkin, but you know what I mean, someone really good. So, yeah, you never know, and if I can find someone to read it, that'd be great. Just read the script, you know, like an audiobook or something. But let me know if you want to see this happen, and I'll really work towards having that, but I don't know how. And also, if there's something you would really like to see in the story, like a moment or some kind of conversation or something, I'll take it into consideration. I mean, I really like writing it. I do it for fun. Oh, before I run out of time, I just want to tell you guys some other things I wrote. And these I wrote in the style of movie scripts, and like full. Like, these are like 20 pages. The first one I did ever was called Therapy with Harley, where I wrote it to be like a movie, and it was like retelling of Harley Quinn's origin story, only I changed it a little. Not Suicide Squad number 7 way, but just enough to where it'd be okay for film. Like a more adult film, like PG-13. It's a little darker, and it references Killing Joke once, and it has Guy's suicide, and it's got a lot of cool stuff in there. And at the climax, it revolves around Batman 663, and you can look up the plot to that one if you don't know. Which I don't own the comic, but I know the plot, so I'm looking for the comic too, so. And the other one I wrote was basically, what was it called? It was called Funny Wedding, and I'm really good at writing Harley stories, okay, so they're all Harley-oriented in one way or another. This one was more resolved about generalization, like, it was not only about Harley, but it was about Joker, it was about Batman's journey, it had a little Catwoman in it. Basically what happens in that one is it starts off with a bang, literally. Joker and Harley kill a couple in the middle of their wedding, steal their clothes, and get married. And you're not really sure why, and Harley really isn't sure, but she doesn't care. She's really happy. And right afterwards, they trick Batman into unmasking himself, and it's revealed all over Gotham. So Batman turns himself in, and most of the criminals retire because they don't think it's any fun anymore. Except for Joker, who plans on destroying the city. And there's some really interesting character development between Harley and the Joker. Like, they have a conversation in the beginning that comes into play in the end, if you really pay attention, where you're like, oh, that makes sense. But, and it's got just a particularly cruel thing the Joker's doing. Like, hey, that's not cool. You can't do that to Harley. Although it could be perceived as nice, it's really cruel. And I'm running out of time, but tell me if you would like, because these are long, so tell me, give me suggestions, and just tell me if you would like me to do a video thing. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.